20 stories from men who were raped. According to Reddit. Number 20. Back in high school, girl had dogged me for a while, but I wasn't feeling it. She got a job with my mother babysitting my little brother. I was sleeping on a Saturday morning and woke up with her straddling me and me inside her. Thanks, morning wood. Since it was already happening, I just went along with it. Yeah, I told some folks about it, but it was never a big deal. I regret it like hell, though. She is certifiable and still haunts my life. Certifiable. What does that mean in this context? Maybe if I had just gotten up early and left before she got there, but it is what it is and I just deal with it. Number 19. I got nearly blackout drunk with my roommates and floor mates in the first year. The very night before our next exam, or our first exam, I went to bed alone, they stayed up drinking, woke up, vague drunken awareness, to a girl trying to stuff my whiskey dick inside her. Didn't really know what to do and just sort of drunkenly let her continue. I was extremely confused as the girl was an out lesbian. I had no idea what was going on. I tried to get off myself a few days later. No, I tried to off myself a few days later. He tried to kill himself. Jesus Christ. Took a long time to admit to myself that it even happened. Maybe it contributed a bit to me trying to kill myself, because I was in a miserable, terrible black hole for the next months and eventually switched schools. It took a long time to even consciously connect the dots. Never really told anyone because I couldn't really even admit it to myself that maybe that wasn't a cool thing of her to do. If I did tell anyone other than a therapist, I have a hard time believing that they would be supportive. My close, lifelong friends already think I'm a wee bit of a slut. There's some truth to that, I suppose. Especially because I'm not looking for commitment in any form, so I imagine people would be super dismissive. At the time, my roommate sort of tongue-in-cheek congratulated me because, isn't that the dream? You were drunk in first year and hooked up with a lesbian? Legendary. I still think about it way too much. Also, internet friends, there is a ton of sexual assault that occurs in university and college campuses. The schools do not report it, and it's almost impossible to get people kicked out. This year at the head of Trent, a massive regatta, my friend is a Dawn. In her one residence alone, there were 50 reported and filed sexual assaults in one weekend. Not a single word was said on behalf of the school. It's crazy. Number 18. Jesus Christ. I was in high school. I hung out with kids who were less popular, sort of intentionally. Gamers back then, and probably still now, were less popular, I guess. Anyway, this girl was older than me by about a year or two. But she had a reputation among everyone for being easy, which is why people picked on her. I tried to see through all of that. I was not romantically interested in her at all. I was hardly even attracted at all to her. One day I met up with her after school. Maybe we were walking out together? I don't know. It was a long time ago, and I would walk home every school day, so it wasn't something unusual for me. It's always more fun to walk home with someone else, so we talked about a bunch of random things. We had class together, I think. Driver's education? Well, you can't remember this too well, buddy. She comes over to my house. My parents aren't going home for at least another 4 hours, and she knows it because of our conversation. We pretty much hang out in my parents' living room. I'm on my dad's reclining chair, and all of a sudden, she goes and sits on my lap and starts getting undressed. Virgin me has no clue what is happening right now because the older girl is doing some weird stuff. She starts wriggling around on me. Oh, how innocent is that description. And eventually straddles me on the chair. I kinda can't move without actually pushing her off at this point, and she has her arms tied around my head. Then she starts talking dirty, which became pretty forceful. She was wearing low-cut shorts, grabs my hand, slams it into her as if she was already ready to go. The next thing I know at this point is that I'm already inside of her, just my hand, that she basically is using all of her might to use my hand to finger herself, ? 15-year-old me at this point has no clue what the fuck is happening, and suddenly, the garage door opening sound happens. My mom is home like 3 hours early. She flips out, hops off of me pretty much halfway undressed, and runs out the back door into my parents' backyard. I run to the bathroom to try and clean up and wash my fucking hands. I get to the bathroom and confused me is about to clean myself before I notice a bunch of Lord Jesus, give me strength. Before I notice a bunch of smegma on my finger. It looks like a sesame seed or a poppy seed. I'm not fucking sure. I smelled it because, let's be honest, I'm 15 years old and it's weird. It was fucking terrible. I was emotionally destroyed at this point. I clean my hands, my mom walks in, and she's super fucking suspect. My mom actually saw this girl in the backyard but didn't want to tell me. 5 minutes go by and magically the girl in the backyard ends up at the front of the house and she's like, "Hey, do you mind if I get a ride home?" So I play coy with my mom and I'm like, "Mom, randomly this girl from school is here and she wants a ride home. Do you mind?" And she goes, "Sure, no problem." But then on the ride home, my mom explained she saw her in the backyard and I didn't need to hide all of this. I felt some guilt there. Next day I go to school, I tell my closest friends about this terrible, terrible encounter. And what do? They focus in on the one fact that the girl's smegma looks like poppy seeds. From there on out, the girl is permanently known at the school as Poppy Seed. That's going up in the bookmarks. She ended up putting in a school transfer request because the harassment got so bad, which made me feel even worse. Poppy Seed. Skip ahead to summer that school year. I had a teacher who was from Zimbabwe, no lie, teaching me Algebra 1. The bane of the school language barrier, the bane of the public high school language barrier from the teacher ensured that I would be failing, ultimately ending up in summer school. As I'm there, guess who else is there? Poppy Seed. She was fucking pissed at me. Literally tried to fight me on the bus to summer school. She actually started punching me on the bus. Yet I get roped into it as if I'm beating her. I get caught up in all of this because now the bus driver for the summer school bus has to report me to the dean of the summer school. "I am the dean of the summer school. Who dares fight on my summer school bus?" Which is basically the district official from our school system. can't call him the dean. I had to re-explain everything to this guy, where the rumor started, and as I re-explained everything above, needless to say, the principal of summer school did not believe my story and instead claimed that I was harassing this girl. I swear, man, they call her Poppy Seed. Apparently, the girl went as far as to get a lawyer involved and threatened to sue me. Y'all hoes are fucking... Come on, she can't be that salt. Trifling, boy. Luckily, the girl's lawyer was level-headed, and eventually it all came down to the lawyer just asking me for a written letter of apology to her, which I did, and then they filed a light restraining order against me. Bitch, we ain't trying to be around you, which I was totally on board with because I personally felt like it was keeping her away from me. I didn't want to associate with that shit anymore. Anyway, that happened. Woo. What a story, ladies and gentlemen. What a story. I want creepypasta music for no reason. Please don't let that, take away from... What the fuck was that? Right. Please don't let the creepypasta take the bing bong music. boy. Dark orchestra music. Let's see what's going on here. Let's turn it on down. Okay, guys. As we continue up the list of 20 stories from men who were raped. This is insensitive. This is insensitive. What's this about? Let's pass. Let's just pass. You know what? Give me Clean Soul back. We'll take it from here. As we continue up the list of 20 stories from men who were demonetized. That's me. That's my story. I'm kidding. While we're talking about monetization and how apparently it runs the world, even if you guys weren't as wonderful as you are, I'm not going to pretend that I cared that hard about YouTube. But the horrifying thing that I saw between last night and right now is how many people were dying to make some Stephen Hawking content, baby, because they got to rake in that attention for that ad revenue, and there's no shame in that. Like, how can, the fact that YouTube doesn't have anybody at the reins of this monster that they've created online to at least say, okay, anybody making Stephen Hawking material right now, you know damn well why you out here making this shit so you could share. Oh my God. And it's the same thing with every deaf, but come on, man. It's so transparent. As we roll up the list of 20 stories from men who were raped, Kyle goes back to the old song because I'm a woman and I'm indecisive now, okay? I said it. Below is from the last time this question was asked. This is actually how my son was born. Oh no. I had been with this lady, let's call her Stacy. She was crazy, but I wasn't exactly the stable kind of person either. I was really into painkillers at the time, and I was not doing very fantastic in life. I had a stable job, shared rent house. I had a car, but no equity, no savings, drugs being expensive, and a general feeling of wanting to die. This general feeling of wanting to die was mostly due to excessive painkiller use, and I was on probation at the time, but that is a separate story of stupidity. Anyhow, I wasn't exactly the most emotionally average person, or available person. I worked all the time because rent plus drugs equals slavery. When I was home, I was reading or sleeping or being a generally miserable cunt. Now Stacy has a job. She just goes to school. No, Stacy has no job. Goddamn. She just goes to school. She stays with me, rent free, and for a while we were happy until my general priggishness pushed her away. Anyhow, she cheated on me. I caught a sexually transmitted infection because of it. I broke up with her. I asked her to leave. I get treated. I grieve. I become less like a human, more like a miserable, hollowed out skeleton who has trouble processing emotions, priorities, the basics of human interaction. I mean, deal with it. This is how we all need to be right now. Interacting with other human beings is just a mini game that some of us are really good at. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. I get put on mail-in probation. The easiest there is. I don't mail in. I just want to sleep. Maybe never wake up. So I tried to end it the only way I knew how. I took a lot of painkillers. I drank whiskey till I couldn't see straight. I wake up in the morning. I'm disappointed. I'm alive. Stacy is naked beside me. What the fuck? What happened? Did I call her? My phone is shattered. I wake her up. I asked her to leave. I haven't eaten in a couple of days. I'm starving and so hungover I can't think. She starts to laugh at me. I start to get angry, but my head spins. I fall back onto the bed. I realize she is undressing me. I moan out a please help me. I think I'm dying. I wake up. I'm naked. She's gone. A few days later, she calls my job and asks to sit down with me. She says I'm late. Yo. We're only 3 entries in. Buckle the fuck up. I cry. This is not what I needed. She asks for money. I give her some. Go back into work and my PO is wondering why I haven't mailed in. I go to jail, then to rehab. While I was in rehab, my counselor helped me realize that the way she had always treated me was not like a partner, but as a servant. I have no idea where to end this. Anyone who has dealt with something like this knows it's how you cope. I'm getting better. I still avoid relationships with women because I'm not ready. I want to get a little bit better before I try that again. And this is the kind of sad part. I mean, hey, I'm gonna say some real shit right now. How about that? If you guys are members of my Discord, then good for you. You know what I mean? But if you're not, I have kind of like a confession channel in the Discord, and in that channel, somebody named Kanoko was going on about how they're trying to get close to one of their hoe friends, and like the chick got back with her ex-boyfriend or something like that, and like, oh, you know, all the dudes that are throwing themselves at her, she's like, I guess, fed up with. So Kanoko is trying pretty hard not to be one of those guys and end up in that category, you know, as if he's trying to avoid being friend zoned or something like that. The bottom line is, to me, it's like, you know, she's not the last person in the world, okay? And from the sounds of it, she seems like the type of bitch you'd want to have fun with, not the type of chick that you would want to try to establish something long-term with. Whatever she has going on right now, that's baggage that's going to need to be resolved, you know, probably over the course of not a couple of months, but a year or more. And that's the bottom line. I'm sorry to be that frank as it pertains to this Kanoko situation, but even if she wrapped all that shit up right now, she's still the same person that jumped back with her ex, you know? Some relationships end amicably, which is to say we go our separate ways and everybody's fine. And, you know, maybe we drifted apart. Maybe we both changed and we come to a mutual agreement where things just aren't going to work out between us. So even though we still like to stay friends, blah, 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 blah. That's like 1 out of 1,000 relationships, though. Most relationships end for a very specific reason, motherfucker. And for a chick to jump back into the relationship with the dude, that shows a bit of what's going on upstairs for her. I'm not saying that all women that end up back with their exes are stupid, nor am I saying that about men. I'm saying that they're in a state. I'm saying that it demonstrates a bit of indecisiveness and, you know, perhaps other things that they are burdened with that you will always be second nature to. So as it applies to Kanoko, you wasting your time, boy. And the reason I bring that up is because when I see this, what I've highlighted here is the sadness in this guy going, you know, I still avoid relationships with women because I'm not ready. Now, in one way, yes, he's not ready because he's depressed to the point where he's trying to take his own life, you know, and he needed to be in rehab essentially as an addict. But the bottom line was, if we were to jump back in his life, it wasn't that he wasn't so much ready for this chick. He just wasn't ready for a chick that was gonna be as bad to him in a way where he couldn't even see it as this chick was. And I think it's so sad that he's definitely been destroyed for the worse in a way where he's probably not going to be up to a relationship, platonic or otherwise, in the future, because he had such a bad experience with this chick that was in a dominant position in his life. So sad, but it's kind of just another parallel or a mirror to me saying, when people come in and they go, oh, Kyle, I don't have friends, how can I get friends? And I always say, the most important thing that you can take away from this right now, our little interaction, is that not everybody is worthy of your friendship. You shouldn't just be passing it out to anybody who may be interested, because some people are looking to manipulate. They're looking to take advantage. They're opportunists. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's socially acceptable. You know, you expect to go to a car dealership and have some dude lie to your ass, baby. You expect to go online and have somebody tell you that you're getting it for the best price here, or that this has better features than something else, because they're trying to make that sale. They're trying to make it so that you're giving them your money instead of other people. When you're talking to people in the context of a relationship, whether it's intimate or friendly, people are going to oversell. They're going to be an exaggerated version of themselves so that they stand out to you in their mind more than the people that you're already interacting with stand out to. And many men, many women who are seeking a partner, they go above and beyond initially to try and capture your attention, the same way that a car salesman will try to capture your money by making it seem like this is the real thing. After a while, after they've secured you, all of that, you know, it dissolves. Not in every case, but in many cases. So you have to be fucking careful, you know, because not all that glitters is gold. You could have two doors, and one door on the outside looks gold as fuck, and on the inside is just a room full of poop. You get what I'm saying? But a door made out of poop could have gold behind it too. What an analogy. What an analogy. I'll take the poop door. Thank you very much. As we continue up this list of 20 stories from men who were raped, we're number 16. I was drunk during an after party in my dorm apartment at VCU. I went to lay down because the room started spinning, and about 10 minutes later, a Puerto Rican chick we knew slid into my room. She got me up and then squatted down on it. After a few, I guess, I fully grasped what was going on and groggily pushed her off. She got up and left my room. I wasn't necessarily mad about the rape itself. She wasn't ugly, disgusted, or disgusting. Plus, it was college. Wild shit happened. I was mad that it was unprotected and low-key ashamed because I had a girlfriend at the time. The guys thought it was hilarious when I told them. Oof. That's the thing, dude. That's the thing. Having sex outside of the context of a relationship, man, you got to be real sure that you're one of their only partners, you know? And if you're not, wrap that shit up. That's the first thing, you know? And second of all, if you're going to be casual about it, where you really don't even care who you fucking, to the point where you don't know this bitch's last name or where she from, or y'all just met at the party or at the bar or some bullshit like this, how the fuck you doing it without protection? Like, in my mind, it's not just about STDs or STIs at that point. It's about the biggest STDs / STIs of all time, a baby. Okay, you guys need to just operate with the worst in your mind. And what's the worst that can happen? She could be already pregnant, trying to get you to be the baby daddy. The law's gonna be on their side. You know, you'd be paying it even though it ain't true. Even though it ain't true. Number 15. I haven't told anyone and probably never will. The last thing I want is for people to not take me seriously if I tell them. It was done by a family member that I haven't seen in over a decade when I was really young. It's honestly part of the reason why I trust almost no one. That sucks. That really sucks. Well. Well. Number 14. Senior beach week, I had consensual sex with a girl one night. In that, I was really drunk and in a state, sure, let's do it. A night or two later, I had passed out and my friends literally carried me to bed. I came to with her on top of me. When I realized what was going on, I got up and went to the bathroom. She followed me in there and tried to go down on me. Damn, girl. In all seriousness, I tried to force it out to hurry the situation along and ended up peeing in her mouth. So, justice? In all the years of telling the story, not one person has acted like it was not cool for her to go on me while I was completely passed out. Sometimes I get a, lol, you got raped. Uh-huh. This nigga said, I will admit being torn. On the one hand, it's totally not cool. On the other hand, you kind of handled it on your own with your golden stream of justice. Your golden stream of justice. As we continue to number 13. Oh, man. I was raped by my college roommate's girlfriend. What? This happened around sophomore year of college. One of my roommates had been dating this girl off and in about 8 months or so. She was tall, athletic, and an attractive redhead. She had that oh so famous redhead temper. My roommate was also not the best boyfriend. They fought a lot in our apartment. Several times I was forced to physically get between them to prevent an altercation. What does shit got to do with you? And or our stuff would get broken. That's what you were doing between them. These fights happened at least once a week and almost every time they drank. One Friday she tells me that she wants to set me up with one of her sorority sisters. Or sorority sisters, from what this nigga wrote. This guy's drunk as hell. Yes, I got raped. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That's rude. And he's like writing the story while he's drunk. Okay. Get. What is this in my face? What is this in my settings? Who do you think you are? It's Dia. Dia says, hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great night. Hello, Kyle. That's what I'm talking about. Where'd Sadeja go? It's sad and disgusting that there are people who do this sort of thing. No one should be taken advantage of, man or woman. That's very true. It's very true. Well, one Friday she tells me that she wants to set me up with one of her sorority sisters. So we four, the roommate, the roommate's girlfriend, the girlfriend's friend, and myself all go out to the club. The night was going surprisingly well. The friend and I didn't really connect in a romantic way, but we were having a good time nonetheless. At one of the clubs, it's my turn to buy around. I'm standing at the bar trying to tune out the loud music when I feel an arm reach around from behind and grab my crotch. Natural reaction, I turn to see who it is and see it's my roommate's girlfriend standing behind me grinning. I carefully remove her hand and try to mentally brush it off as the alcohol getting to her. Fast forward another 2 hours and we are in the cab going back to our apartment. The roommate and girlfriend are loudly fighting about something, while the friend and I are sitting in uncomfortable silence. It is at this point that things get really blurry. It was as if all of the night's alcohol hit me at once. Or you got roofied, nigga. You got Cosby'd, nigga. Don't get Cosby'd. Don't get Cosby'd. Oh my God. I remember us getting back to our apartment parking lot and my roommate and his girlfriend are shouting at each other. I throw the driver a bill, stumble back to our apartment with the girlfriend's friend in tow, leaving them to fight outside. I don't know where the friend crashed. I just walked straight in and straight to my bed. I don't think that I even took my club clothes off. Or my club cloths off. Okay? I don't know how much time passed, but I get the feeling of something wet around my crotch area and stomach. My initial thought before opening my eyes is, oh fuck, I pissed myself. But upon opening my eyes, I see my roommate's girlfriend on top of me, riding me. I sobered up in that 1 second and quickly shoved her off of me. I just remember saying, what the fuck are you doing? And her saying very loudly, well, someone else won't fuck me, as if she wanted my roommate to hear. I told her to get out. She did whilst calling me an asshole. I lay there for a minute trying to analyze what just happened. When I started to feel sick, not sure if it was the alcohol or the incident that had just occurred, but I ran to the bathroom to puke. I returned to my bed, fell asleep, and I never brought it up to my roommate or his girlfriend. I don't know if she ever told him. He told me the next day that he was so blasted that he didn't remember anything after we left the club, and the sorority sister was nowhere to be found the next morning. The roommate and my girlfriend and his girlfriend broke up for good not long after that, and I still see her around town every now and then. We are cordial. We speak, but I never brought up the incident. I'm not even 100% sure she remembers doing it, and to be honest, even I have confused feelings about it to this day. Drunk people, getting drunk tonight. Nobody deserves it. But it's even more fucked up, man. I don't even want to go into this because it's such a sad aspect of life. Such a sad side of life. Number 11. I wasn't raped, but I was molested. When I was 19, my brother's girlfriend, who is now his wife, came into my room after we'd all spent the night drinking. I was very drunk, but I still had my wits about me, and she's a big woman, tall and fat. I was a short, skinny thing at 19, so yeah, when she started yanking my pants down, I couldn't push her off. She started sucking me off, but I didn't get hard, so she stopped after like 20 seconds and stumbled out of the room. I just sat there wondering what the fuck I should sew. In the end, I couldn't tell my brother because he'd be devastated, and he'd probably beat my ass because he can't very well beat hers. He needs to deal with issues with his fists. I eventually did tell someone when I was drunk, and to be fair, he did say it was wrong, but only after I told him that my sister-in-law is fat and unattractive. Yep, how she looks apparently is a factor in whether or not the rape is okay. You know, it's kind of like, oh my God, that teacher is fucking that 14-year-old boy. And everybody's like, is she hot? You know, how big are them titties? What are we talking about here? And they're like, no, she's this ugly old lady and she's really scary. And they're like, that sucks. Get the police on the phone. Beep, boop, 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 beep, beep. The comedy being that police would only need three tones. He assured me that if she were hot, I'd have enjoyed it, Except no, because she was my brother's girlfriend and I felt like a complete prick for not being able to stop her. I'm trying to figure out how big a girl is where she's not even riding you. She's just going at your cock and you can't get her off. You must have been drunk as hell. And that's always the key factor with these stories, isn't it? I was so drunk. What about all the people who weren't drunk and people overpowered them and family members blindsided them and all kind of bullshit like this? My heart goes out to them. Suppose to these assholes that can't hold their liquor. Not that they deserve it. I'm just saying. Lock a door or something, motherfucker. Lock a door. You know what I bought and I still haven't had the nerve to use it? And it's not because I'm a pussy, but it's because I value my fucking life and anything could happen. You know? Anything could happen. I'm a wild motherfucker without substances. And I know that without a chaperone, things could go off the fucking rails, regardless of what substance you're taking. That changes you, you know? You don't have restraint when you take these things. So y'all niggas gotta be careful. You gotta have somebody that you trust with your life. You know what I'm talking about? And maybe if the person you trust is getting drunk with you, don't do it. Don't do it. What the fuck? Oh my God. Number 10, when I was 8 years old, I was at a church on Sunday morning. I don't like where this is going. A woman that I knew very well who was in her 30s, the mother of a friend, cornered me in a room and told me she wanted to pray with me. She felt me up good as she prayed. And I mean everywhere. There was no sex, just groping. It lasted about 3 minutes, but felt like an hour. I was horrified, scared, and never spoke of it until now, decades later. So not a rape, but a molestation. You telling me there was pee-pee squeezing going on during a prayer? How you gonna squeeze pee-pee during prayer? I don't want y'all praying for me squeezing pee-pee. Ugh, that's blasphemous. That's blasphemous. Number 9, man. Not full-on rape, but I guess prolonged sexual assault. I still find it hard to frame it in my mind. Or that way, anyway. A female friend took pity on me when we were all crashing over at a friend's house. I've always found her very uncomfortable to be around. She has a tendency to be very handsy and have no concern for your personal space. But knowing my luck, I ended up having to share a sofa with her for sleeping. Shortly before we called it a night, I had to disclose the fact that I was still a virgin in a game of Never Had I Ever. You chose to do that, nigga. Something that has never really bothered me, as I seemed to have no sexual drive or attraction to anyone. Regardless, she looked at me with pity and said, "Aw," in a simpering voice like I was a baby. During that night, she decided to do me a favor. And I guess she slipped her hands into my sleeping bag. It should also be pointed out that she is much physically larger than me. I have dwarfism. Oh no. Our friends were all around us in the dark, so I felt like I couldn't cry out. But I tensed up like a board and grabbed her hands. It's okay. You'll like it. Fuck, just thinking about it makes me so angry. I felt so pathetic. This is what I was to her. A pitiful, disabled freak who nobody could truly love, only pity. She carried on despite how obvious it was that I was extremely uncomfortable, and eventually stopped when it was clear that it wasn't going anywhere. I stayed wide awake for the next 10 hours, completely frozen and sweating, with her pressed up against my back, just waiting for her to try again. The next day, my whole body ached. It was the worst night of my life, and people I dare confide in say, "Was she attractive? What's wrong with you? Why didn't you go along with it? Don't be so proud." Fucking hell. Oh boy. How can Rachel be drinking when she's got all of those kids to take care of? Dia says, "I'm just getting increasingly more sad. Why are people like this?" Well, We got to worry about balancing them out. You got to understand, people are just born with an inability to be self-aware. People are born and they grow with an inability to see people's perspectives, an inability to see any perspective outside of their own. And much like a grandpa or a grandma who's been grown in her racist ways, and it's kind of at a point where it's like they're an old dog and there won't be any new tricks. You just kind of release it with some of these people. I wish they didn't have to exist that way, but it's kind of the way it is. Here we go at number 8, though. I ended up in my ex's room because she said she wanted to talk. She locked the door and told me she wanted to fuck. Told her no repeatedly and started slapping and kicking me every time I tried to leave. I told her I was going to yell for help, and she said, "Who are my roommates going to believe, you or me?" So I tried calling my friend to come help me, but she took my phone and threw it into her closet, with the same kicking balls and slapping me. I finally relented and let her do whatever she wanted, then packed up my things and left and completely blocked her off of everything. You fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. What you mean, nigga? Was this a flip phone, my nigga? Because did it not have video, you know? What you mean, dude? Who are my friends gonna believe? Ladies and gentlemen, please let me make something completely and utterly, apparent to you guys. Yes, rape is gonna occur. Yes, people can overpower you. Yes, they could take a weapon and threaten your ass and you're pretty much stuck. But if you have your phone is the greatest tool that you will ever have because it has the ability to record sound and video. If there's one thing that you should do on a daily basis, if you leave in the house, or worse, if people coming over, make sure there's enough space on there in the event that things go tits up to take a damn video, because that video could save your life. It don't seem like a big deal, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, a lot of lives come down to he said, she said. Take it from me, okay? Take it from me. One motherfucker could roll into your life and claim rape right now, and you would be in jail for a while before they prove that it ain't the truth. That's the legal system. I'm so sorry. So this dude is trapped in here. It's not like this was his wife and they're both in the military and she could just threaten to say something and that'd be the end of his career. She called you over there, you in there, you got your phone. She like, fuck me. And you're like, no, please. You know what I mean? What the fuck? What the fuck? Stripe spells monk, M-U-N-K. Number 7, okay? You see why she ain't on these lists anymore? We wouldn't get anywhere. It'd just be me laughing until no, but she would say it right, but she wouldn't spell it right. Maybe Stripes is funnier on paper than she is out loud. Oh my God. So here we are, number 7. I was raped twice by 2 different girls. The first one was my dad's girlfriend. I was staying with my dad and his girlfriend when I was around 16 years old. And on one weekend, he went away for the weekend. Yeah, I don't like that you wrote weekend twice. Well, the moment he left, his girlfriend tells me to let go.
Hey Kyle, how you been?
I've been fine, Schwantz. Thank you for your donation. I hope that you've been fine, and I hope that you continue to stay fine if you are fined. Do you get what I'm saying? As we continue, I've told this story on my other account. We start from here. Well, the moment he left, his girlfriend tells me, let's go. As in they're going somewhere? We go to the liquor store, and she tells me to pick a bottle. I drank tequila every night with my dad, so I thought nothing of it. I picked a bottle of Absolute Citron. and a 6-pack of beer. I've never heard of this. Oh, it's probably Absolute, like not with an E. Yeah. Why did he spell it that way? Citron, too. It is just a bucket of confusion. So, a 6-pack of beer, well, we start taking shots, and before you know it, the entire bottle is gone. I get and throw up in the bathroom and stumble back to the couch and pass out. That's all I remember. Until I wake up to her giving me a blowjob. I passed out again, and she is riding me. I couldn't pass out after that, so I pretended to sleep until she was done. The next morning, I woke up, ran into the shower, and when I got out, she was telling me about the great life that we were going to have. What? Great life? Oh my God. I played it off until my dad got back and told him everything. Shit blew up, and I went back home with my mom and buried it in my head for 20 years. What is this? I've never seen this before. Second time I was drinking with a bunch of friends who was staying with me seeing this girl. I never told anyone, and my girlfriend at the time ended up being my wife. She put up with my depression for about 15 years before she got tired of it, and I finally told her. It was like a huge weight off my chest. I still never drink around females unless my wife is all around, and I have a hard time looking females in the face when I talk to them. It really fucked me up. If I have one drop of alcohol, my dick is dead to the world. I get such a bad anxiety and the occasional flashback. What creeps me out about this story is the part where she says how amazing the life is going to be together. Because I feel like I remember that. And this guy says that he posted this before on another account. And I've done this kind of list before, and I was going through them trying to make sure that I wasn't going to repeat the same list. But, oh man, some of these are terrible. I didn't even see this one. Boy. But no, my God. I guess we're just lucky at the end of the day that some of these people don't really try to kidnap younger people. Even though if I thought too hard about it, it's probably fucking happening all over the place. Number 6. Why are there so many edits?
You are all so sweet. You guys give me hope for humanity. This world is so much more beautiful thanks to all of your wonderful souls existing in it.
Damn.
Less than 3.
Thank you, Dia. I really hope that your day is made as bright as you make everybody else's days. Pretty intense. Number 6. I was at a wedding without my girlfriend as she had a prior engagement and couldn't make it. I'm English, and I knew the American bride because we taught English in France together a few years beforehand. Her husband was Italian, and the wedding took place in Turin? Boy. On the day I sat at a table with a lot of groom's Italian friends, or a lot of the groom's Italian friends. Even though I don't speak Italian, this suited me well as the Americans have a strange relationship with alcohol. Everyone knew I wasn't single. On my table was one American girl, Laura. She was really athletic, a CrossFitter, I think. Not a bodybuilder, but there was no fat on her at all. Fast forward and I am drunk more than my fair share, and the American table had a lot of wine left for them after the meal. After acting like a tit on the dance floor, the night would wound down and everyone left to go home or back to the hotels. In the hotel lift, which is to say the elevator, all by myself with Lauren and another American girl who I think was the maid of honor, we're going up. The lift stops, my floor, I get out and head towards my room. The maid of honor stays in the lift to continue to her floor. Laura is still with me. As I get near my room, I remember Laura is staying on the floor above mine. which is odd, but I was blotto, so it didn't occur to me to say anything. Boy, these are a lot of foreign terms hitting my ass right now. Ugh. I say goodbye in a short order as I'm taking a turn, and I wasn't to get to bed. I wanted, I'm guessing. Yeah. I say bye in a short order as I'm talking, or I'm taking a turn, and I wanted to get to bed as soon as I can. As I close the door, it hits something hard. Her foot. Oh, Lord. I turned to look at her, and she pushed the door open, kissing me. I push her off, mumbling incoherently. She pushes into my room and shuts the door behind her, telling me to just go with it. I'm fairly uncoordinated and weak because of the drink, and I say no. She pushes me onto the bed. I black out. In the morning, she's gone, and there are 3 used condoms in the bin. I always felt horrendous about cheating on my girlfriend of the time. I never told her, or anyone about it, really. The relationship didn't work out, and as far as I know, she never found out about it. Oh boy. Fast forward a few years to me. Oh, to the Me Too movement, like that hashtag bullshit that I see someone on Twitter or Facebook, I can't remember which post about. And that's the first time I ever considered that I'd actually been raped. I raised this and was laughed at by men and women alike. I personally think that if the roles were reversed and I'd forced entry into a drunk girl's room while I was sober, sex with her, she would repeatedly tell me no, I'd probably be in some serious bother. Really? You'd be in a spot of bother, dude? This is just British as hell. I know better than to tell anyone else now. Well, I'll say it because it's not racist, it's factual. Overseas, they have way less tolerance for some of the Fruit Loop hijinks that we got going on here. Their words, not mine. The bottom line is, whereas you could probably, I don't know, I want to say if you ran to the right place, maybe 4 or 5 out of 10 people would hear you out if you were saying some girl had her way with me while you were drunk, But over there, it would immediately be dismissed by probably 10 out of 10 people that are just like, hey, so you got some, huh? And they'd probably go, oh, I can't even get some sober and you're getting some drunk. Oh, boy. Trying to read some of these edits. I just don't understand. On Americans and alcohol, this family were extremely puritanical. Christians that extreme don't really exist where I'm from. I got very drunk, but a British wedding where... Oh, boy. Look, the bottom line is yes. If you reverse the roles, it would be just like the most hardcore Lifetime original movie that you've ever seen. But that's a television station on a obsolete form of media. I remember television in a Lifetime original movie. Number 5. Damn, this has been gilded 5 times. Woo! I hope it's good, but not in a bad way. But that's the only thing it can be. My ex-girlfriend liked to be raped. Damn. That's like 7 words in, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not even. Yeah, that's 7 words. Unless you make ex-girlfriend 1. But still, that's not even 7 words in. My ex-girlfriend liked to be raped. She liked the role play of it, I guess. She asked me to tie her up and really be rough with her one time. I did it even though I didn't feel comfortable being so rough with her. We did this a few times here and there. Excuse me. Wait. Don't I usually burp then hiccup? No, I usually hiccup then burp. Oh Lord. I hope that's not on a bingo card. I did even though, oh boy, I didn't feel comfortable being so rough with her. We did this a few times here and there. Our relationship started to fall apart due to other issues, like her not trusting me for some reason and making me take pictures of everywhere that I went, constantly fighting her about it. And them insecurities. I finally saw what was happening to me, being controlled by her and never being allowed to see my friends or family, and even skipping classes in college. Skipping classes in college because she didn't like a girl in my class or whatnot. Wow. I tried to leave her and she showed me a video. The video was one of our rape roleplay sessions that she had recorded and now was going to use to blackmail me. Oh shit. I was scared to death and ended up staying with her for about another 6 months, where she would regularly force me to have sex with her, or she would call the police and tell them that I raped her. The tape had me dead to rights over a crime I didn't really commit. Eventually, I felt as if I had had enough of a case, and I took a leap of faith and left her. Blocked her on everything, never heard from her again. It's been about 3 years and my trust in relationships is ruined, but I'm still recovering. Oh, shit. The guy goes on to say, I have the video mentioned and a phone call recording of her explaining that the video was fake. I'm fine. I'm not brainwashed. I know I probably should have pursued it at the time, but I didn't, and hindsight is 2020. It's too late now to bring it up out of context, and I want to remain as far away from the situation as possible. I may delete the post due to the negativity towards me. That's not what I asked for when posting this. I simply shared my story. People being negative towards this man? Damn. The top one was removed, and so were all of the comments in the thread. Boy, this is kind of sad. That's sad that people can find something to be pissed at this guy about. Following I think the only thing that they could have attacked him about is not leaving her sooner. But if she had a recording of the guy in what may or may not have seemed like a rape encounter, holy shit. I can't figure out why everybody upvoted it, though. This guy edited his post like 1 billion times, though. He says a lot of messages have poured in asking me not to delete the account or the post. Oh, boy. Someone says, as weird as the advice sounds, before engaging in any sexual activity with your current partner that is even slightly violent in nature, type up an agreement between you two and sign it. Give a copy to her and keep one yourself. This situation would be avoided in the future, as a signed document is legal proof of the agreement. Wouldn't you need to get it notarized? Wouldn't you need to get it notarized? Look, someone says, sadly, the consent can be taken back after the document is signed, making the document invalid. Someone says, yes, but it creates reasonable doubt. It won't save you from being charged, but it might save you from prison. Boy. Videos, baby. Videos. That's the only thing that's going to save the world. That's why they try to put them on the cops, but the cops just turn them off. I remember there's one story where the cops like turned on a camera and discovered like some drugs on a property, but the cops didn't know that how do I say this? It starts recording before they turn it on, so to speak. Much like if you're, recording something on your PS4 and I say this like everybody has a PS4, but PS4 can like record into the back, into the past when you press the button. Like you press the button and it can record up to 15 minutes or 30 minutes of past footage. And that's how the cameras on the cops worked. And in the footage before they turned it on, where they find these drugs, you can see them planting the drugs there. And the comedy to me is, if they did it just now, they've probably done it before. They most certainly were willing to do it again, right? So how does everything that they've ever done not get called into question? And the answer to that question is, of course, because they're police. Because they're police. Hey, if any of you were in the stream last night and you remember us talking about that story where the cop, where a teacher shot or discharged a gun recklessly in a class, who was also like a volunteer or off, like a reserve police officer or something like that. He's also a councilman, if you can believe that. He is also a councilman, so people believe that, this kid is not going to get any justice. I know that the dad's name was Gonzalez, so that means that, they're probably Hispanic as well. That doesn't bode well as far as media attention. I like to think that a lawyer would jump on the opportunity for like a multi-million-dollar case, especially with how hot the climate around shootings in the classroom is right now. But you never know. You never know. But that's fucking crazy. Imagine a teacher is in a class, shoots off a gun. A bullet fragment gets into the neck of a little kid. He bleeds in school. Nobody gets him any kind of medical attention. He has to go home to his dad, who sees the blood on his shirt and then takes him to the hospital where they remove the fragments from the kid's neck. And then the teacher who actually did that is also a reserve officer. Yeah. And he's also a councilman. So, man, it may be the last time we even hear about that, as terrible as that sounds. Number 4. I went over to a girl's house, smoked way more weed than I was used to. Are you going to imply that you smoked so much weed that you were incapacitated? Is that where this is going? I went over to a girl's house, smoked way more weed than I was used to. And with a bottle of wine, I was basically a zombie. We went to her bed, and I asked if she had a condom. She said no. I told her we weren't fucking then. Passed out, woke up with her riding me. At that point, I figured I might as well go with it, since if I was going to catch something, then I'd already have it. Oh my God. Okay. I really wanted to go to sleep rather than get dressed and try to get home. Deal with the awkwardness. No diseases, thank God. I wasn't much more than disappointed, and my friends, male and female, say it isn't rape. So sometimes before I tell my story, I reverse the roles and tell them about the time I shagged an unconscious girl without protection after she'd already said that she didn't want sex. Their reaction is always way different. The comedy is people want a world without sexism when they're oblivious to just how outrageously sexist they are. Naturally, it doesn't apply to everybody, but it applies to a lot of people, and that's pretty sad. I tried not to choose a downer list, but I figured I might as well get it out there. I mean, I've done it before, like we saw when I googled the oh boy, all of those different abuse stories. Not 3. Got drunk with some friends and took a couple of bars. Not an uncommon Saturday night back then. One girl I stayed up with is bullshitting in the kitchen. Oh wait, we're both in there. One girl and I stayed up bullshitting in the kitchen. Most folks had passed out, and it was a way to keep from disturbing people. The next thing I recall is waking up on the couch with her riding me and biting the hell out of my chest. The bruise lasted for about a week and a half. A few other people wake up to the noises, including my girlfriend that I shared the apartment with. The girl riding me stopped to the commotion and left quickly. I had never blacked out before and wanted to make sure I was okay. Toxicology turned up. She had slipped some roofies in my drink at some point. Yo, a girl rapist? This is rude. I know it's rude that I'm saying this like this, as if to imply that the girls in the other stories didn't rape. But this is professional. This is premeditated. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, a girl who is capable of rape is the type that's probably done it before and maybe might do it again, because in her mind, it's not wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? These stories where the chick is asking a dude, hey, can we do this? And the guy's like, no. Or she goes, or the guy will go, hey, you got a condom? And she's like, nah. And he's like, no, it's not happening then. And then they still jump on the dude, you know? This guy is drunk. He's unconscious, right? And you're fucking around with his genitals and getting it, you know, to a point where I guess you can have some fun with it. This is wrong. You should know that it's wrong. But, you know, they can get away with being so drunk that, oh, you know, their emotions and their urges just overwhelm them, dude. But when you carrying around roofies, you know exactly what the fuck you mean to do. You know exactly what the fuck you mean to do. You carrying around roofies? Oh my God, I had the girlfriend go with me because she was having a hard time believing the story. Hot chick riding your boyfriend in the living room while you sleep so you can work in the morning and him not wanting it. Also had them check for any STDs as people start warning us that she may be running green. I came back clean, but that night started my path to stop using drugs. Wow. I talked to a cop friend about the situation, and he low-key advised me against trying to press charges, since there were drugs and alcohol present, and they would have to search the place for evidence, and that wouldn't go well for me, and it would come down to her word against mine. When a cop warns you about how shit is going to go, oh my God. Even with me being roofied, it would be hard to convince a jury, so I let it go. I went on about 3 years without seeing her anymore. Even though we ran in the same circles. I bumped into her in a grocery store and she immediately started apologizing. I told her it was in the past and that I moved on. She was making a scene and I didn't really want to make one either. I don't know that I would have had the restraint had I bumped into her shortly after the incident. Wow, that was cathartic. Which goes to show you that some people out here are just not are not venting, you know? They're not utilizing an outlet to get all of this shit that's happened to them out, which is horrifying. Somebody says, she drugged you in your own home while your girlfriend slept meters away. It doesn't matter how fast she started apologizing. She is a predator. Wow, dude. You know? As they'll say in the church, you know, sin is sin. There's no thing that's worse or better, you know. Killing a man, killing a child, killing an old lady. You're still murdering. You get what I'm saying? People who are still non-consensually involving themselves in somebody who doesn't want this, or even worse, can't argue or fight back against it. It's wrong, dude. It's wrong. But when you're carrying roofies, this is your intent. That's the premeditation right there. This ain't her first rodeo. It probably won't be her last. You acquired roofies to slip into a motherfucker drink. Damn. I'm so sorry. It's nice to see Dia talking a lot. Dia says, I don't condone violence, but I kind of agree. Girlfriend got to defend her man in some way. Oh my God. I don't know. Yo, I'm shocked. You know, I put the bookmark up there, don't get Cosby, as kind of like a, you know, a little, ooh. Number 2. Long story short, late night after the bars in college, I go home and I pass out. Girl knocks on my door and asks if I'm home. We know her, so my roommate says, yeah, lets her in. She goes straight to my room where somehow, while I lay lifeless, passed out drunk, she gets me hard and starts riding me. Yo, what the hell is going on? My roommate opens my door, flips on the light, and asks if she even put a condom on me first. She says no, and he kicks her out. I am informed of all this in the morning. Scary the idea that if the roles were reversed, it'd be a severely different story, but I personally didn't really care, nor did anyone else when I told them. Every single response was, "That's awesome, easiest lay of your life." Did you even put a condom on him? Nasty. 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 Ooh. Oh, this is like the, what is this? Adult Survivors is a rapist subreddit. Holy shit. Not a rapist subreddit. You know what I'm talking about. Survivors, naturally. Men get raped too. Oh, no. With 925. That's fucked. Adult Survivors. Oh, crap. Boy, look, for me, I don't know why it's so scary. The idea of just like somebody like taking their unclean and infected potentially stuff and putting it on you in your sleep. And it's like, if they're willing to do it while you're unconscious, they don't care if you come to or not. They probably just gonna use you as like a warm, you know what I mean? What's stopping you from, boy? Ooh, okay. Boy, I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are remarkable. I'm sorry for so edgy a list tonight, but this shit happens, and I wouldn't want to, just because it's awful, I wouldn't want to make it seem like it doesn't happen. Special thanks to all of you. Special thanks to Schwans and Rich and Dia. And let's finish off this last one. Not sure if this counts, but I was 13 during summer vacation. This ain't gonna be good. I was the annoying little brother to my stepsister, who was 15 or so at the time. Both my mom and my stepdad worked, so we were home alone during the day. My stepsister had friends from around the neighborhood, and they bought a good way to kill boredom. Or they thought a good way to kill boredom would be to hold me down and undress me. Okay. Well, this was circa 1979, 1980. Long before the internet was a thing, even before we had VHS players or cable. Seeing the opposite sex naked was tricky. If you didn't stumble across a porn stash, then it was a mystery, so their curiosity got the best of them, I guess, and as soon as I knew what was happening, it was too late. I tried to fight it, but it was my stepsister and 3 friends, and I was a skinny little kid, so I was no match. They got everything off, and they did their thing, playing with it and laughing as it reacted. I was crying and yelling at them the whole time. It went on for a long time, and eventually they either got bored or I got free, but kind of a combo. It was awful. I waited for my mom to come home, and I told her immediately. She shrugged it off and told me to stay out of her room. That was it. I begged her to do something, but nope, I was a boy. Who cares? She said it's different with boys. It made sense. It made no sense. I didn't even mention it to my stepdad, so I hope things have changed nearly 40 years later. But back then, it was never taken seriously. Truly messed up. If that happened to my son, I'd go absolutely batshit crazy. Man, that is another man abuse story to add to the list. Daughters of Reddit, what is something you wish your father knew about girls when you were growing up? That sounds cute. I don't know. Would that make a full list? Not a nighttime list. The nighttime list got to be a little more gritty. Little more gritty. Damn, it's crazy to see Dia this much in the chat. I'm glad that she's consent and love, that is true sex. That's why they call it love making. What the hell? Loveless sex? What the fuck? What are y'all talking about? Aaron Deere says that one story Kyle told about the guys who works out and his roommate had been drugging him and wrapping his ass. Ooh, come on now. Roger says, I don't get the loveless sex thing, but that's just me. It would just feel wrong. Oh yeah, man. You got to remember, unfortunately, that we live in a world and everybody's different. Everybody's different. And sometimes, you know, they just do to do. Some people are out there doing things just to do them because they can, because why not? Some people don't feel a damn thing and they know that they can get things from people. You know what I mean? By just doing this thing that means nothing to them. We're not just talking about like a prostitute. We're talking about people who are numb emotionally, where, you know, they'll pretty much do anything suggested to them because they're done. There's some people who like, oh, you know, they want to take their lives. They just want to die. They want to give up. But at the end of the day, they're feeling really hard. They're feeling a lot. There's some people walking, you know, somebody was talking about how they smoke weed and had a bottle of wine in one entry and then they were a zombie. There are literal, well, I should say emotional zombies walking the earth right now, just looking to be used, hoping that, you know, someday they trigger the right thing that makes it so that they feel normal or that they feel it all. And they're just out there doing shit to do it. And like I said, this isn't just like in reference to people that are using their bodies or something for monetary gain or to, like, you know what I mean? They're not trying to gain something by doing what they do. They just do it because they can. And, you know, sex. Whoa. Sorry, my controller like fell over. Has it been charging? That's why I plugged it in. Man, I gotta plug my phone in now. Whoa. Daniel says, well, sex leads to love by producing endorphins and hormones. Not in everybody, bro. Just because the body mechanically does certain things doesn't mean that everybody treats those chemical reactions the same way, you know? You know, we could literally take a knife and stab 10 people. You think everybody gonna feel that stab the same way? Hell nah. And not all of them gonna react the same way either. And the same thing applies with certain chemicals that get a little bit of that release in the brain, baby. You can, the same way that you can kind of pussy whip somebody by giving them sex to make them do what you want, you can whip other people with ice cream, baby. You know what I'm talking about? And for some of those ice cream people, the sex wouldn't have the same effect. And for some of those sex people, the ice cream wouldn't have the same effect. What an analogy. I want to go through the poop door. Okay. Was that tonight? I'm getting old. I'm confused. Oh, man. Roger says, Kyle, yeah, everyone's different. Blah, blah, blah. Love you, man. Love you, man. Jesus says, honestly, this list didn't seem that bad. Everyone except for the younger boys. But other than that, these guys got it pretty easy. Jesus, you can't say that, man. You see the problem? Just because for you, it wouldn't be a big deal. And yo, I'm not mad at you, so please understand that. But let's talk about this like a family. You know what I'm talking about? I want to talk to you about this like a family. The bottom line is, when you say shit like that, it makes me realize that You know how sometimes I get upset about people who can't empathize, where it seems like they got to go through some shit before they give a damn about people who've been through that same shit. You know what I mean? Where like some people would wake up if they got $1 billion and they would never give money to people who are starving. But if they go through a scenario where they're starving, then all of a sudden they know what it's like, and you know, they want to give to this charity because these people are starving. And I, having gone through that myself, know what it's like. And I would never allow another person to do that. We read so many stories on here where like some person does this kind of outreach or that kind of outreach because when they were younger, or, you know, they went through something that was similar to that. And in my mind, it's like, nigga, why you got to go through it before you have a brain and think to yourself, some people are fucking suffering. And whether or not you understand that suffering or not, in many ways, you could be incapable of that suffering. You could get raped in the ass right now. If a girl gets raped in the ass, you don't get to go, I know how you feel, girl. You sure as hell do not. You sure as the fuck do not know how she feels. And she doesn't know how you feel. You are two different people. It's not about gender. It's not about upbringing. It's not about intellect. You are two different people, and you literally process the world in which you live in different ways. You're different individuals, dude. So when you say, hey, those niggas had it easy, you know what I mean? To you, if it went down the way that it went down for them, maybe you would consider yourself having it easy. But these kids were likely traumatized, man, in a way where like some of them wanted to take their own life. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, many of us are all depressed, and we wake up just wanting it to end, and we don't know where to start or where to end some of our days, and we just wish that things would be different, and we know that it's not going to be different. And one of the realest things you always hear me say is it's probably going to get worse before it ever gets better, if it ever gets better, and that's the damn truth. But for you to lean over and be like, oh man, I'm depressed too, I know what that nigga's like. Nah. Be aware of yourselves sometimes, because you're gatekeeping. And I'm not roasting you. I'm not upset with you. I'm just saying, hey, man, these guys to a panel of motherfuckers may seem like they didn't have it that hard, but this could have been the dankest shit that they've been through in their entire fucking life. And the bottom line was, there's no terror like powerlessness, you know? There's no terror like powerlessness. It didn't have to. It's not about the rape. It's not about the girl just riding them without their permission. It could have been a gun somebody holding in their face. You know what I mean? It could have been them having a heart attack on the floor, no phones around, nobody else in the house. That feeling, dude, of knowing you can't do shit. When you compound that cake, when you compound the ingredients that bake the cake of you not being able to do shit with the fact that don't nobody care, nigga, you can't compare to that. Don't talk about shit like you know. You know what I'm talking about? Don't talk about shit like you know, because the worst part is that after being wronged, many people have no one to go to. And if they try, they get shit on by people going, they got it pretty easy. You see what I'm saying? It's fucked up. Because some of these people need that help. Just because we don't need it, cool. But some of those people need it, and they deserve it. They deserve that help if they need it. But they're probably not going to get it because they situated in a world where the bottom line is, with all of the bitches jumping up on a fucking soapbox and squawking in their face about how they demand equality and this and that, if something were to happen to them exactly the way that it happens to these dudes, they would get the people falling over themselves to make things right for those girls, but they wouldn't get the same treatment. And, you know, maybe you live in a world where it's just like, oh, they need to just nut the fuck up and be men. You know what I mean? But well, one day you'll know what powerlessness is, when you literally can't do shit about nothing. In a way, if you're nihilistic enough, you believe that at all times. Yeah, in a way, we're kind of powerless against what's going to happen. We could have an aneurysm right now. Some drunk driver could come barreling through the house. What the fuck?
Thin or thick? Girls are so fucking gorgeous. Less than 3.
Dia's the gorgeous. Throwing that out there with that thickness. You're coming down with the thickness. Where did that come from? Y'all make me want to scroll down on this bitch. What's going on down the list? Somebody says, I've personally experimented with different people, but my boyfriend was the one who took my virginity. Congratulations. There's a subreddit called R I Have Sex. Senpai Queen would fit right in. Dia says, just personal preference of mine. I'm old school. Can't bring myself to do it. Just do it. Get me the fuck out of here. Senpai says, that's part of the problem, Jesus, that many male survivors are not taken seriously. I mean, that's the thing, dude. That's the thing. Jesus, I got one thing I genuinely want to ask you. Flip the roles on half of these stories, my dude. Flip the roles on a story where a girl she's going to a wedding, and a guy follows her out of the elevator, puts his foot in the doorway, and is just like, you know, let this happen. Okay? You're hanging out with a mutual friend, and they're a dwarf, and you're just like, hey man, you know, I know you're a virgin, so I'm going to fuck you. You know what I'm talking about? Switch the roles. Is it okay? If your answer is no, then I think the bottom line is you are the problem. You gotta look at yourself, man. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Kevin says, somebody asked me if I talk to my wife during sex. I said, sure, if she calls. Okay. Just now when he said that, it made me feel like I had a hair in my mouth. There's no hair in my mouth. It just felt, ugh. It felt like I needed to spit, but I couldn't spit. I have no spit, yet I must spit. This isn't okay, man. The fact that I made this the thumbnail the last time. Guys, do you think that my thumbnail game has come, you know, has matured? 20 stories from men who were raped, as opposed to this, the old one where it was 30 times men were abused / assaulted. You can tell that I gave a shit about YouTube and their fucking demonetization spree when I was phrasing it that way. But rape is rape. Male abuse. We know what it is. But the second they see rape in that title, oh my god, you better, this is limited. Okay. No. Damn. And then this time I put a woman with like a iron. Come on. Jesus, answer the damn question. What you mean you shrugging? You don't know. Jesus. Don't think we don't respect you for having an opinion and sticking by it, dude. You know, how you feel is how you feel, and we're not going to be here to sway you over to some bullshit just because we don't agree with it. But the bottom line is, you must see the difference. You must see that it's like what you're saying right now, because we have to flip the genders in this scenario, is that if these girls were to say no and they were drunk, and the dude were to just fuck them anyway, that it's not that big a deal. That's what you said. That is what you said. Dia says you're entitled to your opinion, but I don't agree with you on this one. That's pretty much what I just said. But you get, come on, man. Come on, Jesus. What you mean, man? I really want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to Jesus about this, but how? Oh well. Can't win them all. Can't save them all. Poor Stephen Hawking, you know? Pretty fucked up. That's my feed flooded with videos about Stephen Hawking. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hello.
It's Christian.
Hello everybody, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home.
Oh, he's still a woman? Okay. I was gonna leave a mean comment, but I would never do something like that. I'm not that type of person. Oh my god, he's gonna sell comics? Oh my god, he's trying to... Why are they selling things now? To make money for some... Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Enough. Internet, please. Click the poppy seed link. Oh. What a roller coaster of a list this was. Jesus Lord. Oh boy. Dia says, I would like to listen to your reasoning, Jesus. I want to know why you think this way. Peppermint Stripe says, I'm pretty sure he got rid of his penis. No, he didn't. Did Chris Chan have a sex change? No. No. Oh. What? Let me read this to you. Oh my God. I had to close my eyes to just absorb the internet for a moment. Some of you guys don't know who Chris Chan is. I am not the guy to educate you on it. You want to lose 5 hours of your life? Just look online for documentaries about this online Stockholm syndrome having a kid who loves abuse and can't try to get himself out of the freaking spotlight. This is what this person wrote. He has some kind of developing burst cyst / gaping wound / gangrenous slit where his vagina would be if he were female. He refuses to seek medical help because the doctors will just tell him it's a fucking infected opening in his taint and not a vagina. He uses YouTube videos and meditates and believes that this is what made him grow a vagina. There are pictures. For the love of God, do not seek them out. What are these pictures at? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, if you'll excuse me, I have to take a look at this. Dude. Oh God! Ah! Oh shit! Oh shit! It's an open wound! Oh shit! Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Why? Why? Whoa! This dude's crazy. It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. No. 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 Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Oh. Nigga, I don't need to link y'all to shit. You want to see this shit? Type a variation of Chris Chan, Clit Pierce into Google. It's not. He believes that he grew a vagina, my dude. He believes he grew a vagina, and on his own Encyclopedia Dramatica page, I didn't need to know all of this. He didn't get a sex change stripes. Don't you ever get tired of being wrong? Oh, sweet God. Like, this hurts me. This hurts me to read. Let's go look at anything. What is Reddit in Reddit? This is a subreddit called Reddit in Reddit. Oh, apparently this is like... Apparently, like, this is like... Reddit is so boring. This is a place for people who can't be bothered to send their post to the right subreddit. Like, you're posting pictures of dogs and it should go to like a dog or aw or eye bleach or something like that. Dr. Steve says, I wish I didn't look that up. Can you imagine just somebody having a sliced opening in the gooch type area and then believing that they had grown a vagina, and everybody pressures this idiot to go get checked out because this isn't right, and he's just like, no, I'm a lady now. Yeah. I'm a lady now. I'm sorry that I brought that up to you guys, but it's Stripes' fault. Ooh. Well, nobody died, so we're all fine. Let's watch people survive, and then we'll get out of here. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Some people have all the luck. Ooh. Losing control next to a semi. We saw this. And the dude slides right under the truck like this is some sort of movie. Some John Wick shit. Come on. People noticed a child climbing out of the... Oh my God. Whose mama? Motherfucker. Oh my God. They got him though, right? Shh. Where is this? This is the gnarliest shit in the world. Are you kidding me? He did a pretty good pull-up. Dope. But he says they seriously spend their entire early years trying to commit suicide. Yeah, that's what kids are. Parents don't understand. That's what's going on. Oh, Stripes has 3 bingos tonight. Holy crap. Post your... Whoever got bingo, I want to personally thank you for being amazing in the Discord. So I'll see you there. You guys have a lovely night. I think I'm going to jump on Monster Hunter, though. So anybody who has that, maybe we'll see you on there. Love ya. You guys have a great night. I'm thinking of doing that. I'm thinking of doing this daughters list, maybe in the morning. So if I wake up at a reasonable time, I'll try to do that tomorrow morning. So look out for that, and we'll get sexy. Love you.